Nick Gilgan, Southside of London Stadium, West Ham Fan TV. Now, I know you've got a few things to say to me, but let's talk a little bit about the game first. I think that's killed us, to be honest. I think the result today, especially when you're cruising like that, is going to kill us in the table and mentally.
Massive game today, absolutely massive game. I was sure, 100% sure we'd get 3 points today. And at 3-1, I was thinking, this is nice, even a little bit of atmosphere going in there. And then as soon as we make a tiny, tiny mistake, we try, we don't clear our lines, ball gets played across the box, a bit of a scrappy goal, and you can see straight away from that point, nerves creeping in around the ground, around the team. It was only going to be, one score of the next goal, and then if we'd have kept on playing, I think they would have got the fourth.
Haller is not for me, to be quite honest with you. I don't think he's fitted to this league.
He can win a flick on. Whether he can do much else, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. So you got him. His biggest strength is winning a flick on. Maybe go with a quick man and running behind him. But if he's only flicking onto the centre half, he's dropped off, then there's no point really playing him on his own up front.
Yeah. Where do we go, Ramil?
Championship? Well, I think Bowen's a good signing. I'm not sure it's exactly what we needed. I think we needed another centre midfielder or two.
Well, this is the problem with the ball, isn't it? Because I've heard yesterday when sort of a few people were saying about transfers, we're just fucking flicking bids everywhere. There's no plan to it. There's no sort of like rhyme or reason to it. Just bid for him, see what comes. We'll see what sticks.
Well, we were talking earlier about clubs that have a strategy, and we said Wolves. They've got a clear strategy. So they clearly thought, right, okay, let's tap into Portugal. Let's get this guy on board who can get us a load of players from Portugal, and let's make a strategy that we get these players in and we play this certain way, and this is how we're going to get ourselves up the table. I don't think our board have thought beyond tomorrow. What are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do tomorrow? I don't know. What should we do tomorrow? We'll throw a couple of bids in for him, and no one wants to come and work with us now, because people are waking up to the people that run this club, and that's going to spread, isn't it? Agents, players, they're not going to want to come and work with these guys.
Well, that leads us in brilliantly to what you come to talk to me about.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to start off by just kind of trying to address a couple of the questions that we get asked all of the time.
So who's this? Tell me who it is first.
Hammers United.
Okay.
Yeah. So, question number one. Didn't Gold, Brady, Sullivan save the club? Okay, so if I give them the most generous answer I could possibly give them, and I say, yeah, they saved the club. They saved it, even though there was other bidders for the club and the club would not have gone out of business. But if I say, yeah, they saved the club, does that give them the right to then treat it however they want? So what if you go to a rescue centre, pick up a dog and say, I've rescued you, I can treat you however I want for 10 years. So if I give the most generous answer that I could to that question and I agree with that person and say, yeah, they saved the club, doesn't mean they can then do whatever they want with it for 10 years, take as much money as they want out of it, charge 4% interest on loans they've given to the club and take millions of pounds out of it, move to a different stadium and just forget about everything that everyone wants to do. Fine, maybe, all right, do you know what? Maybe they did save the club, which I don't agree they did. Maybe they did. They can't just treat it however they want. And then the other thing we get asked is, well, surely this will have no effect. People say, protesting over the other side of the stadium, do something in the ground. This will have no impact whatsoever. But you look at its strength in numbers. After we had probably around 2,000 people coming together on the 18th, you look at the way that things have changed in the press since then. You look at what's been said by Joe Cole on BT Sport. You look at numerous people coming out on TalkSport, Allardyce, Cotty, loads of people coming out, Nolan. You look at what's been said on the Sunday Supplement and what's been in all the nationals. That is how they feel the pressure. That is what gets to them. They're not worried about a little bit of trouble here and there around the ground. They will quickly, when
other people start getting a message.
Yeah, when the message starts getting bigger, and you've seen what they're trying to do to Sky. They're now saying they want to sue Sky if Sky don't apologise. Ridiculous. And then the final thing that we often get asked is, isn't it just about results? Is it not just about results? Oh, everyone's only just moaning now because the team has started losing. We've been doing this for nearly a year. We've been writing to the club non-stop for nearly a year, saying to them, engage with an independent supporters body. For a year, we're being fobbed off. Now, I can't lie. If a team is losing, of course, people get
pressure increases.
Of course. But it's not about results. It's not about results. If a team is losing, people get frustrated and it opens up old wounds. So people start to come out with other things, the waiting list, whatever it might be. You could name 101 different things that have been done off the pitch, nothing to do with football. Talking to a guy today who sits in the corporate area, said, "Oh, they've changed it now, so we only get one beer." It's just so many stupid little things that they could do to show, right, okay, we actually, we have a consideration for the fans that attend these games week in, week out. Because we can't choose who we support. So we're going to be here every week in, week out, no matter what. And they could do tiny little things to show that they're actually on board with us, but they're not. All they want is, they want to take as much money as they can out of the club, biggest payday they possibly can, and that's the issue. West Ham fans are not. We're not going to protest because we're not in the Champions League.
I've said this for a long time. I was talking about this on a live show the other day about the sort of reluctance to engage with supporters and the reluctance, like you said on Sky. Anything negative said about them, they want to shut them down. Like, I've seen the Sunday Supplement podcast this week, and that whole section about West Ham has been taken out of it because of a legal dispute and a legal letter that's been sent by the club. I'll be honest with you, I had an anonymous phone call this week. It's not anonymous to me, I know who he was, saying that something I said on a live show last week, the club were looking at sort of legal ramifications of it because I've said the wrong thing and all of that sort of thing. And, they've said to me, like, the thing I did is I named the wrong person responsible. So all of a sudden the club will want to sort of start legal wranglings, allegedly. But this is the thing, they want to shut it down. But what I said on the live show, if you don't take the negative with the positive, how do you ever expect to learn? They don't learn, do they? No, by just taking the positive. If everyone's saying, yeah, this is brilliant, how can you ever expect to change the things that are not brilliant and that are not good? And this is where you guys step in.
And they don't learn, you're right. And for them,
I don't want to learn.
You can see it's all about brand. It's all about brand. Brand Brady, and Gold and Sullivan. They just do not want to be damaged personally themselves, and they try so hard to control the messaging that they just get themselves in a mess. They get themselves in a mess. So Talk Sport, I've called up. I've called up previously a number of times just as a West Ham fan. Got a call back the other day. They called me after the West Brom game. Do you want to come on as a fan, talk about the game? I said, no, I don't want to come on as a fan and talk about the game, but I'll tell you what I will do. I'll come on as a Hammers United committee member and I'll talk about what's wrong with the club. He said, we're probably just talking about the game tonight. Anyway, the guy on the phone said, yeah, it actually does sound like quite a good idea. I'll get onto my presenter and I'll get back to you. And then half an hour later, no call. So I called up. Oh, yeah, I remember talking to you, mate. Yeah, we can't really have you on tonight. Oh, why not? No, it's not. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. Can I come on if I don't mention Hammers United? Oh, yeah, of course you can. So they're just trying to control the messaging. The thing they put out before the Liverpool game, 5 reasons to come and watch. 5 minutes later, they've changed the article because they've realised...
Well, that was my big dispute.
It's ridiculous. And now that Sky are coming out and saying something against them, they demand an apology. They're all about the brand. And sooner or later, people are going to realise that they're lying. They are lying. And when you tell one lie, it leads to another lie and to another, and sooner or later, you get caught out.
Yeah. Catching up with them. Thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.